I think like the seagulls are looking for chips because they usually pick chips out of people's hands. A shipwreck in Stormy Seas. There's loads happening in this picture. It looks very dramatic.
Why is the lighthouse not turning on?
One of them just looked like a headless man.
It's called Shipwreck of Stormy Seas. Claude-Joseph Vernet.
Vernet.
Claude-Joseph Vernet.
73.
It looks like it's like a stormy night, and there are two ships in the picture, and they're getting like kind of the waves are splashing on them, and it looks like they're kind of sinking.
It looks really dramatic. There's all the waves. There's a lot going on. It's very like an extreme. The whining going on, the shipwreck.
I feel like it's a bit of bullshit.
In the sky, there's loads of different shades.
It's really dark in like all the corners, and then it gets a bit brighter once it gets to the middle. There's quite a lot of like different shades of blue for the sea. There's like a bluish greenish colour at like the front where they all are, and then like further back it's a lot darker, it looks a bit navy. If you kind of look really close, there are a bit more of the orange kind of on top of the sea. I think it might be lightning striking the ocean.
I don't know if it's scratch marks or if it's supposed to be raining.
It looks like pure chaos. It looks like just havoc. It looks like it's absolutely dreadful to be there, and it looks like just horrible, moody seas.
Mostly in the olden days, pirates used to go on the huge ships.
And the ship is falling down because there's a lightning in the storm.
So the right one is tilted to the left side, and the left one is sinking from the bottom. So this is the left one, and this is the right one, like more diagonal into the water.
It kind of looks like both of the ships have this like Quidditch ball stuck in them. It's like got like this like point at the very bottom and like two little wings. All the flags on the boat, they have like, they go to the side, which means like the wind's pushing them.
You can see people still on the ships. You can see some people still trying to get off. Like one of the people I can see like a blue man wearing blue. Looks like he's about to jump off.
We see two main boats, but I think there might be like more kind of like further on in the background.
There's this like old, very like wooden boat that like has oars. I think it's smaller because it's further back. And from here, it kind of looks like it's being struck by lightning. If you look at the rear corner, like where these like two men are like climbing onto the rock, you see like a smashed ship.
I think they were like on the boat, but then that boat was starting to sink, but then they jumped on that boat.
One of them just looked like a headless man.
I think most of them probably fell overboard.
So they had to come to the island.
They're probably going on the rock so the wave doesn't get them.
I see there's like this pile of maybe coffins or treasure chests, and there's like two people like carrying them up. It looks very heavy. There's one guy looks like he's gonna fall, and one of them, the other one looks like he's gonna fall too. I can see the writing on the one on the ground.
Lots of artists like putting their names, like signing it, and he put his like secretly on the trunk.
And there's like one carrying this like sack that looks like it's full of basketballs, but I thought it was like full of oranges and like orange fruits. Yeah, citrus fruit.
The citrus fruits are needed for when you're on the ship. If you don't have citrus fruit, then bad things might happen. And there's one dog over there.
Her tail's tucked in. She's obviously will be petrified, or he. She looks wet. It looks like she's been in the water. She looks like she's fought for her life.
Yes, and it looks like it's looking like where we are, like looking at us when you look at it.
And I think there's like a woman on the rock, and like I think she might have been like in the ocean, and I think she like she was on the ship, but like she was kind of swimming to shore, and like she needed help. So I think the men who are next to her, they're like panicking, and they're trying to like help her and bring her back to life.
And there's this like man who's like, I think it's the father, and he's like praying. He's like, please live, please live. I think that like girl who's standing off in like that orange bikini, I think she's like saying, help, my sister, my sister.
She might be thinking like how she will get out the stormy day, and why is the lighthouse not turning on.
Oh, I figured something out why it's so chaotic. Because usually lighthouses use their lights to indicate there's an island, but because of looking at the pictures, it doesn't have the lights on. That's why it's gone all chaotic.
I think it might have been kind of like a power shortage, like with the lightning.
I think maybe they could be, they might be sleeping. Maybe they were in a really, really deep sleep and they could not hear anything. So they wouldn't shine the light. In the background, I see this like mountain, and at the bottom of the mountain, there's this like village. The village looks quite old, because it doesn't really it makes me feel like they've used clay, because of this mini use beige and red. And then on the other side of the ship, then there's this like very tall building.
It might be a church, but we can't see the back wall.
Like in the background where that like town is, there's these like, they don't really look like rocks to me. They like look like this like group of trees like all huddled together, and that reminds me of broccoli.
I can kind of see rocks like shaped like an animal. Kind of like a shape like a lion, so the rock what the waterfall is leaning to. So it has like the mane, the eye, the mouth. Look, I can see a crocodile one. There's the nose and then the eyes there. We have enough to start a zoo. I can kind of see some eagles. I can see one now. Oh yeah, you can't. I just saw them flying past still.
I think like the seagulls are looking for chips because they usually pick chips out of people's hands.
One time the seagull stole my apple.
They stole my sausage.
One came and sat next to me, and then it took a bit of my bread. Once the seagull came into my garden, and I was so confused. So they're like, or something. The way their wings are like held out, they look quite calm, but they're probably like searching for a tree to perch in. I can see trees at the very top left of the picture, leaning out of some rocks.
Maybe a seagull flew into it and maybe dented it a bit, and then it just kept on getting weaker, and then it broke.
The waves are so powerful. They're boosting up to the trees, and they're making the tree branches and that fall down into the water.
On the wave, there's loads of foam. You can see the spray, and the drips, like the individual drips from the water. He's done a really amazing job.
All the detail. I would ask him if he had actually seen a place like this, or if it was a dream, or if he made it up. How would he get this realistic, like to see if he hadn't been there and he hadn't seen what the sea looked like?